wanted to talk to you about something that we can get a lot of calls about this time of year, and that is one of our native Oklahoman trees, the American Persimmon. Now, you'll usually find persimmons growing in the eastern part of the state, basically from I-35 east, and they are native. They tend to grow along waterways. You can see them clustered around ponds or streams, places where the soil is a little bit more moist. However, they are very tolerant of other types of soil conditions, but that's where they like to grow, is in those moister areas. Now, the American persimmon will actually grow to be about 60 feet tall, and they tend to sucker, so usually you'll see them in clumps of several trees growing together. Now, we get a lot of calls this time of year because people want to know when the fruits are ripe, and you can see right here that the tree is absolutely covered with fruit. This is a very good persimmon year, and for those of you who have eaten persimmons when they aren't ripe, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And for those of you who haven't, maybe this will help you in determining when they're actually ripe and ready to eat. Now, the persimmons basically have a nice fruit. They're about the size of a small plum, and this is actually a berry that you see here, and there are several seeds inside, and they're on the tree. They start out yellow and then they start to turn kind of orange, and you can see here we've got them turning a little bit orange already, and they also, as they start to ripen, develop a little bit of a bloom. Now, these are still not ripe. Now, if you've ever eaten a persimmon, a lot of times books will tell you they're very astringent, they make you pucker, and a lot of times when I think of puckering, I think of a taste somewhat like a pie cherry or a lemon. It's not quite like that. It's a little bit more of a kick than that. In fact, it's kind of like having alum in your mouth. Jackie Savage said it's like having a wool or a fur coat in your mouth. It's a very interesting, very bitter taste, and it's hard to get out of your mouth. So once you've eaten an unripe persimmon, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But for those of you who don't want to go through that, you're going to need to wait a little bit longer. Now, it's a popular belief that persimmons actually need a freeze in order to go ahead and ripen. However, they don't really. It's just that the time of year that we get the freeze coincides when they're ripening already. So they don't necessarily have to have that freeze. So what we're looking at now, this persimmon is starting to ripen. It's turning orange. It's also starting to get that waxy bloom on it. But they're actually ready to eat when they get this nice, deep, clear, orangey, almost turning brown color, and they're getting mushy. This is when a persimmon is actually ripe. Now, they have a wonderful sweet taste to them. It's very much like, almost like a date, and it's used a lot in puddings, breads, and also you can make a smoothie drink out of them. So they are a wonderful fruit once they're ripe, but they're not so great when they're not ripe. Now, if you're having trouble fighting with the animals for your persimmons, because they are a wonderful food for all of those critters out there, you can actually harvest them a little early and set them out and just allow them to ripen on their own. But be sure you let them ripen up completely before you start to eat them. Now, as I was saying, if you're planning a wildscape area, you're wanting to attract wildlife, a native persimmon would be an excellent tree to add to that, because the critters absolutely love these, and they'll let you know when they're ripe because you'll start seeing them around. But anyway, make sure that your persimmons are nice and ripe before you start using them, that nice clear brownish to orange color, and that they're soft, and you'll have a wonderful tree.